Alright, so here we are with the demonic beast. So right now what's going on is that it is a double event for the final reward for the demonic beast, and this is where I pretty much do a video explaining to you guys the fastest team or the best team to use for each of the demonic beasts, allowing you to pretty much be able to farm up the holy relics. Again, it's very nice to be able to do these type of videos for players who still haven't farmed up all of the holy relics. Now again, if you are missing holy relics, you can just click on this section right here and you can go down the list of demonic beasts that you're missing holy relics on. Now most players are probably gonna be missing the Ratatasker. Now there is no double events for Ratatasker because again, this isn't able to be farmed yet. Again, it's only for the farmable demonic beast, which is going to be bird, deer, the wolves, and also the snake. So keep that in mind. Again, this is just for people who are again missing out, or even if you want the artifact cards, because I know the cards also have the doubles as well, so you have double the chance. So this team right here is going to be for the bird, and it is featuring the human team. Now I feel like with me, the human team is going to be the fastest team. Now again, when it comes to the humans, you want to make sure you're rocking attack sets or you know, your best gear on your characters. Right now I'm just using my HP set for an example, and this is going to be the artifact card set I'm using, which is going to be this Mael one. This will give you 15% attack related stats on your team if you're using the same race. And we also featuring Mazzino again for the human characters. Again, people always ask me like, yo Marilli, who can I replace? And for this team, you're obviously utilizing Roxy's passive, where if you use a single target attack and you crit, you get the explode damage, which means you have to use characters who does feature a single targets. Now again, that can be any type of human character. Again, it just has to be human. So if you want to use like Arthur, you can use Arthur. If you want to use Transcendent Bond, you can use him. If you want to use LR Eskener, you can use them. Again, you want to make sure it's the updated human characters. If you want to use Light Percival, you can if you really want to. Yiwa has a single target, so she's also really good. There's also old collab characters that are really decent, like Levi. Again, those are the types of humans you really want to use. Like Eskener. Even Reinhardt can be really good because he has 2 single targets. Alright, so the second best team that I probably could say that is going to be good for the bird is going to be the unknown team. Now again, with the unknown team, it does feature a collab character being Xion, because she was pretty much made for the bird in terms of the 4th floor, and it's kind of like the more popular teams that people would try out for the bird, just because again they want to try to farm up the 4th floor of the demonic bird. So they kind of utilize this team pretty efficiently. Again, with this type of team, you want to use Miguelda, who is made for the bird with our holy relic. You also have Freyr, who has crazy base stats. Thor, who is made for the demonic bird 4th floor. And then again, like I said before, Xion, it was pretty much guaranteed to be useful on the demonic bird, just because again her cards that she has right now are gonna be really nice at depleting that what's it called, the immortality buffs that he gets on the 4th floor. Now again, some people like to switch it up a little bit. Like you go on this option right here, you can see that a lot of players like to switch up their teams up. You can see number 1 right now is going to be Milim, Thor, and Miguelda. So a lot of people are trying Milim instead. I kind of don't know how Milim works in terms of immortality. You probably don't care about Milim in terms of that immortality buff, just because again Freyr is the same thing where you don't really care either. So you probably could use Milim instead of Freyr. It all depends on I would say how good your box CC is. Milim seems a little bit risky, and you can see right there you also have different types of teams. Like you got the human team right there. So again, unknowns right now is kind of also another really powerful team in terms of farming up the bird. Alright, so this is what I like to use for whenever I'm farming the deer, which is going to be using this crazy team featuring, we have Jormungandr, Escanor, Milim, and also Lancelot. Now, we're kind of switching from basically using like the full mono race teams to utilizing pretty much characters that kind of can cause death damage. Now again, Escanor has his death damage ability on a single target. Milim has it on her AoE, and Lancelot has it whenever you give the arrow. So again, a lot of def damage characters to pretty much be able to nuke the demonic deer in terms of their damage cap. So that's why when you see this team, people are utilizing this one to pretty much farm it pretty fast. And again, with Jormungandr, she's gonna give you those stats and also rank up your hand as well too, which is really, really nice. And again, for most players, if you don't want to use this type of team, again, you can always switch out characters forever, wherever matching color. Again, this is the more optimized team, but if you want to use instead of Lancelot, a blue human could be you know, Menzino, Roxy, you know, stuff like that. And obviously with Millum, you can switch out Millum for a red human character if you really want to, and you can rock a full human team. Like you can just use, like, I don't know, let's say instead of you want to use kind of like a human team, you want to use this, and then you put, instead of Lancelot, you put like Roxy or something. You can kind of do that to yourself, and now you have technically a good def damage team, because again, you're using 3 characters who's gonna be benefiting off that def damage from Roxy, allowing you to crit. Not Roxy allowing crit to, but if you crit while Roxy's on the field while using your single targets using the humans, you are able to get a extra def damage for these 2 characters. So that's gonna be really nice as well too. Or you can do the mono race thing and then use a albedo team with Xion. Again, this is going to be a team that pretty much utilizing albedo counter to pretty much nuke the deer whenever you get a chance to up your stance, which is really, really nice, because again, you have a lot of stats with Freyr and Xion being on the field, and also with Jormungandr. And again, with you using a mono race team, you can also use the last artifact card set that I've been using, which is the Maya one, which will give you 15% attack related if you are using the same race characters. I cannot find them, but you know what I'm saying. It's the Maya one. And again, using albedo, you can pretty much be able to nuke the deer whenever you want to. So yeah, and again, usually for these type of teams, I don't think I mentioned it, but usually you want to rock like attack sets. But if you really don't have an attack set, you can pretty much use whatever. As long as you have your gear, you're pretty much good. Alright, so now we on the demonic wolves. Now, for me personally, I like to use a mono race team or the human team when I'm trying to farm up with the demonic beasts for the wolves. It's just a lot easier when you have like mono human teams, so you don't have to worry about anything. Again, this is characters you want to use, which is going to be Escanor, Lancelot, Roxy, and also Thonar. Again, don't worry about the links, because I'm pretty sure someone's gonna be asking, yo, Marilli, why you got Ritzario on Lancelot? I would just make my team pretty much fast, because again, there are other teams you could obviously utilize when it comes to the demonic beasts. So don't focus too much on the links. Obviously, you want to use whatever link you can possibly for your characters. Again, because I don't know your box. For all I know, you probably don't have as many 6 out of 6 links as I do. But again, you usually want to use like the more attack based links, being like Sobnok, Sariel, Mael for your characters, depending on whoever you're using. But again, for me, I like the human team. The human team is really good because you get the def damage from Roxy if you crit with a single target, and sometimes Thonar do crit with her single target low key, so she's gonna be really, really nice. So let me go with the other team, which I think is the unknown. And here we go with the other team, which is the unknowns. Like I said before, Xion is just a god tier character for she's a god tier character for the demonic beasts. So again, like I said before, in terms of PvE, she is going to be really amazing for the demonic beast. So she can be utilized in so many teams, and this team is nonetheless one of the better teams, because you have Millum, who is broken with her damage, Freyr, who's gonna give you extra stats, and obviously Xion is also pretty broken herself while dealing high amounts of damage. And again, for you obviously want to try to utilize the base stat sets. I think the last time I said use the Maya one. Yeah, you usually want to use this one just because if you get 5 gauge from you proc and Thonar passive, then you get immunity to being frozen, which could be the more annoying thing when it comes to the demonic wolves. It getting randomly frozen, so Thonar kind of prevents that by once you get 5 gauge, you kind of stop yourself from getting frozen whenever you have this artifact card sets. Sorry if I didn't mention that on the first team. And again, there's some other teams. All you have to do is just click on this option, and you can kind of check and see which team is going to be really, really good for you. Like this one switched it up in being using DK Meliodas. Someone got LR Liz instead of Thonar. Someone got Mazzino, Thor. Again, whatever team works best for you. All right, so here we are. What I like to say is the best team for the freaking demonic snake, man, or Nidhogg, whatever you want to call it, man. Again, it's the goddesses. Again, I have done fun videos where I use like the human team for the snake, and I always say for anybody, man, it's a fun team. The team you really want to showcase or use for the snake is the goddess team. Again, this is the no fail safe team. You will pretty much be able to nuke the boss whenever you want to. Really fire team. Again, you got to make sure you have the holy relics for Freyr and Mael for extra damage. Margaret really doesn't care. And yeah, there's no other team better than this team, guys. I'm not gonna lie to you. Again, there are some fun teams, but I really don't want to recommend those teams because again, they are just for fun. Probably they might have it in this section right here. Nope, you just got mainly goddesses. I guess you got Shion right here. I don't know why they got Freyr though. I guess Freyr for the stance removal. And they also got like cool little Manzino team. Oh they do have the human team on here. Is this the human team? No, because the human team had Roxy instead of Chaos Arthur. That's kind of interesting. They put Chaos Arthur instead of Roxy. Because with this team, again, don't pay attention to the links or my gear. But for this team, I used this to farm up pretty fast, and then I had it where I had like Roxy, like right here, for an extra damage dealer to give you like extra death damage. But they had Chaos Arthur instead, so that could be pretty interesting team-wise. But last time I used like this super fast farming team, I had to utilize Roxy instead of Chaos Arthur. But again, like I said, if any of these teams is something you have, then I would recommend using it. Like, see, this one has Manzino. See, there's a lot of cool options, man, for humans.